We all know what a simp is, right? It's somebody who's overly submissive and willing to essentially do whatever the other person wants, usually for attention or a sexual relationship, but that never works. It's never the end result of simping. Usually simping results in girls getting all sorts of favors from these simps and getting money from them and stuff like that. But I was thinking, and being a simp, they do have one thing right. They do one thing that could actually benefit us all, and that is submit. Now, of course, we shouldn't submit all the time, and with no thought, right? That's what simps do. They just submit. They give up their autonomy and they just do whatever they're told, right? In the hopes that, they get sexual favors or attention or love or something. But how we could benefit from this is that it doesn't pay to be always dominant and alpha and aggressive. In fact, such types of people are usually the most alone. Such types of people, who wants to be around them, right? Because they're not likable. They're domineering. They're aggressive. They're in it to win it for themselves, and they don't give a shit about anybody else, typically. So being submissive isn't about relinquishing autonomy or ownership of our life, or just doing whatever other people want for no reason, because that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem with simping, and in general, there's people who just can't say no. That's a huge problem, right? I won't get into it in this, but submitting a little bit in general can be beneficial, because relationships, not just dating or marriage, but in general, with people, relationships are always give and take, right? Or they should be, ideally. It's like almost like a tug of war kind of thing, except it's not a war. It's like you're working together for a benefit, for a mutual benefit. And both parties, or all parties involved in a relationship, typically benefit. And obviously with simping, the simp normally doesn't benefit at all. The simp usually loses out. But by being submissive in general, a little bit, and letting the other person or other people have a little bit more control, or a little bit more say, or at least think they do, that's very important if you want to get into strategy. If they think they have more control, then it could benefit you more in the end. So don't think that, being a simp is like, everything a simp does, don't do. Because we could all take it to submit a little bit more. Not to the point that simps do, of course, like I've said, but a little bit, because it will benefit us overall in the end. Nobody likes somebody who's just super aggressive all the time. We need to play fair with others. We need to essentially let others take control sometimes, or let others seem like they have control, like they have more power. This will benefit us in the end. So don't simp, of course. Simps are just cringe, but don't feel like you need to be ultra alpha all the time and dominant and aggressive, because that isn't good either. That's almost as good as being a simp. So there you have it. Simps aren't totally wrong.